What happens when a WNBA star gets poked in the eye, shoved to the floor, and no one does anything about it? For a moment, it felt like everything was about to spiral. Then Sophie Cunningham stepped forward, and everything changed. This wasn't just a hard foul, it was a message, one Cunningham wasn't about to let slide. And what followed? Let's just say, the league won't forget it anytime soon. The game between the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun was already intense. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom everyone's watching, was doing what she does, drawing attention, moving fast, and catching heat. But then came the swipe. J.C. Sheldon, guarding Clark tight, made a quick move. Her hand lashed out, catching Clark right in the eye. Clark reeled back instantly, clutching her face, blinking through the pain. It wasn't just a casual foul, it looked deliberate. And that should have been it. That should have triggered an immediate whistle, maybe even a flagrant call, but it didn't. Instead, as Clark tried to shake it off, Marina Mabrey stepped in, and she didn't come gently. As Clark backed away, Mabrey delivered a full-body shove, sending Clark crashing to the hardwood. Still, no whistle, no call, no protection. That's when the switch flipped. Sophie Cunningham didn't wait. She didn't hesitate. She saw what happened and stormed into the moment. All fire, no fear. Cunningham got in Mabrey's face with her chest out and jaw locked. She didn't throw a punch, but she didn't need to. Her body said everything. You want a problem? Try that again. The crowd erupted. The bench stood up. And for the first time that night, the referees finally started tossing technicals like candy. Clark got one, Mabrey got one, Cunningham, of course, got one too. But something deeper had just shifted. The Fever weren't just defending a teammate, they had found their enforcer. The WNBA has never had someone quite like Sophie Cunningham. She's not just a spark plug, she's a black belt, literally. She's the kind of player who doesn't back down, doesn't care about fines, and definitely doesn't care what the opposing team thinks. And that night, she made it clear. Touch Caitlin Clark, and you answer to me. For years, the WNBA has needed someone like this, a player who brings the kind of protective edge you see in the NBA. Think Charles Oakley backing up Jordan. Think Bill Laimbeer throwing elbows for Isaiah Thomas. Now, think Sophie Cunningham guarding Caitlin Clark. This wasn't just about one play, one game, or one rivalry. It was about a growing problem in the WNBA. Superstars being targeted, and officials letting it slide. Clark's had elbows thrown at her, hard fouls delivered with no consequence. And now this. An eye poke followed by a shove to the ground, with no ejections and barely a whistle. And Cunningham? She saw it for what it was. A pattern, a problem, and someone needed to push back. Since that game, something's shifted in the Fever's energy. Clark plays looser now, more aggressive. She doesn't have to glance over her shoulder wondering if someone's coming for her. Because if they are, Sophie's already there. You can feel the impact on the floor. Teams hesitate. Opponents pause before getting physical with Clark. There's a new awareness, an invisible line that says, you might not want to cross that. That's the kind of impact enforcers bring. Not just muscle, strategy. Of course, not everyone's cheering. Some fans and analysts argue Cunningham's intensity crosses the line, that her presence brings more risk than reward. They point out the technicals, the near ejections, and even floated suspensions. But let's be honest, Sophie isn't here to make friends, she's here to set the tone. And the fact that she got a technical in that moment, while Mabrey, who shoved Clark to the ground, stayed in the game, is exactly why this moment matters. It's not just about Sophie's actions, it's about what they revealed. As the drama unfolded, fans were asking a different question. Where is the WNBA in all of this? Why are the referees so inconsistent? Why is Caitlin Clark, one of the biggest draws the league has ever seen, getting treated like just another rookie? The eye poke, the shove, the lack of response. It all points to one thing, a failure to protect the league's most valuable players. And when the refs don't do it, someone else has to. That someone is Sophie Cunningham. What Sophie did in that moment went beyond defending a teammate. She sent a message to the entire league. If the system won't protect us, we will protect each other. That kind of loyalty, it's rare. And it's dangerous, in the best possible way. It's unspoken, powerful, and it reshapes how teams operate. It also reshapes how opponents approach games. Now, when Clark pulls up for a three or drives the lane, defenders think twice. They measure their contact. They hesitate. And in a game where milliseconds matter, that's everything. Sophie Cunningham isn't just playing her role, she's redefining it. She's laying down a blueprint for what protection looks like in the WNBA. Not through ejections or dirty play, but by standing her ground and showing there are consequences for crossing the line. This is about more than the Fever. It's about the league. Because Cunningham exposed a gap, a silence, a blind spot in how star players are treated. And now, the WNBA has to respond. As the season continues, all eyes are on the Fever. Not just because of Clark's star power, but because of how they're rallying around each other. How they've developed a culture of us versus them. How Cunningham's fire is lighting up a team and forcing the league to reevaluate its standards. The Sophie effect is real, and it's not going away. Whether you love her or hate her, one thing's clear. Sophie Cunningham is changing the game. This isn't just about a shove or an eye poke. This is about a league learning what happens when players take matters into their own hands. Sophie Cunningham didn't wait for the whistle. She didn't ask permission. She saw a teammate under fire and made a decision. Not today. And in that moment, she didn't just become an enforcer, she became a movement.